Yeah, I think at a startup, I think the biggest indicator of how my journey would have changed is if you look at my GitHub commit history. It's gone from like really high to very low now. It's just looking at PRs at this point. But I do commit stuff now and then. But what that means is, I guess with any startup, the CTO you need with the first, you don't even need a CTO if it's just yourself. You can call yourself that. Doesn't mean
Yeah,
anything. Then when you have two employees, the CTO you need is a different thing.
yeah,
When you have five, it's a whole other CTO that you need. And when
yeah,
you have 10, it's different, 20, all the way up to your first 100 to 1,000, your role changes. And
yeah,
that's just from an employee number side, but it also changes based on what the startup is going through. So you might
sure.
be at a growth phase or finding product market fit, or you might be wanting to scale. That role would constantly evolve. So the CEO, CTO that you needed, 6 months ago or 3 months ago, even last month, is not the CTO that you need now.
You need right now.
So it's a constant evolution, I would say. But I like that challenge of like constantly having to kind of reevaluate what it is that is needed from me for the company and trying to kind of bring that in. You need to learn a lot of new things and a lot of skills, and to be able to do that, which I like. So yeah, early days, my role was more about, building things, making calls on the infrastructure to choose, and then, actually building it out, putting the architecture, and also trying to do product stuff along with the product people that we have. All of that is, I would say, early days. But now, most of my role is just about creating processes, especially these days. It's about, as we move from a very small team to a medium team to a large team, you need to have processes in place. Like it's not the same as having three people when you have six. Uh, to to be able to get the most out of our engineers, we need to have processes. But at the same time, they shouldn't be holding anyone back. You
Mm.
can't build the processes that you have at a massive company with a small number
Yeah,
of
yeah,
engineers. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Equally, you also can't have no processes
yeah,
because
yeah.
everyone's going to be doing random stuff,
Chaotic.
and
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So that's one of the key things I'm doing, just creating processes for the team for them to be able to do the best work, but at the same time being innovative about it, so that we are
Mm,
not just replicating, we're not looking at large companies and thinking, oh,
mm-hmm,
let's just do that.
mm,
Versus what works for us,
mm,
what can we put in place that makes everything error free, but at the same time move really fast. That's a
mm.
key thing that I'm doing. Then these days for us, scalability is a big thing. We're working on
Okay.
scalability. So, like I
Mm-hmm.
said, we've built a certain foundation, and we've tested that with hundreds of thousands of users with a large energy supply in the UK, and we've rolled it out. It works. But for our next phase, we're looking at the millions of users. So, need to be able to have that foundation of being able to scale to that level at the same time, not costing too much in terms of infrastructure, being able to scale down and scale up very rapidly,
Mm-hmm.
uh, have and meet the SLAs of energy suppliers, because like you said, it's a critical space where downtime is heavily penalized. So have to
Okay.
be able to maintain like a 24/7 engineering team. All that stuff is going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.